Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to make a block that's called Nellie. So for that, I started out with, now I already did one, but we're going to have 2 strips of each. It's only going to be 2 colors. So there's fabric A, fabric B, and I cut 2 strips that are 1.5 inches by 15 inches, and then I just sewed them down together long ways and ironed them. So then we're going to cut these into 1.5 inch sections. Excuse me. On this, actually I'm going to do it backwards because my ruler has just a 1/2 inch, so I just line it up there and it'll be perfect. But first I'm gonna trim off that extra, make it smooth there, and to do that I lined up one of these black lines with the center line there where I stitched down, and that made it even. So now we're just going to line it up and cut, and out of each strip you should get 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 of them, 8 sections. Well, actually I got a little bit more out of my first one, so I'm not going to cut that many out of this one, but you're going to want to cut 8 sections to make 2 sets of this block. So I'm only going to need 5 here because I already have some. Cut one more, and then I'll use this. I'll save this. I'll either use it for another block like this or just something else. I mean, maybe my scrap quilt. There's no need to waste it. I'm going to leave it just like that. So now what you're going to do is you're going to make 4 patches just like that. So we're going to take these and fold them opposite, and I'll pin them. Very easy to line up one seam. And one more. So I'm going to sew these down, and then I will be right back to show you the next step. All right, so I've done that. Now we're just going to iron them all open. And you have 4 patches. And now I'm going to just show you the next step, and I'm going to go ahead and do it because if you've watched any of my videos, you know how to do the next part. So now we're just going to lay it out just like that, and I'm going to sew these 2 together and these 2, and then I'm going to take those, and so those will be sewn together. So and then I'm just going to fold them down and sew that and make the block. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, done it. Now you should have 2 pieces just like this. We're going to lay those to the side and make the second block that we will have 2 of. For that, I took my Christmas fabric. I have one piece that is 7 inches by 1.5, and my white is 2.5 by 7 inches. So I just sewed them together lengthwise, and now we're going to cut them into 2.5 inch strips also. Same as before though, we're going to trim up to make it a flat side. So you'll line up this line right there and just slice that off. Then you're going to cut them into, yep, just like that, 1.5 inch strips. Again, lining up that line and this line. And you're going to need 6 of them, which means I might not have cut enough. So we're going to do, you're going to need 6 total. So you'll actually need 2 of each of this strip, and you'll need 3 from each. So I cut them a little bit big. You all know me. So I'm gonna get 4 out of this one, and then I can get 4 out of my other one, but I'll only cut 2 out of it. And then this also will go into my scrap quilt. So I'm just gonna lay it to the side. So you only need 3 for one block, which is fine because. So I'm gonna lay out the block. For that, you're gonna need 3 of these, and you'll lay them out like this. Right there, and then you're going to need, I got 2 of each, but you're going to need one for one of each for the block. You'll need one white that is 1 by 1, or I'm sorry, 1.5 by 1.5. It'll go there, and one of my Christmas that's 2.5 by 2.5. And actually you'll also need another white piece that is 1.5 by 2.5. So there is this block. Now we're going to sew it together, and to do that, first we're going to sew these two together, this piece right here to this one. So I'm going to do that, and I will be right back. Actually, I'm going to also sew this piece together, this little white piece to this one. I'm going to do both those when I pause the camera here. So just give me 1 second and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I moved it up here. So I've done that. I've sewn that white piece to that and that one to that. So now we're just going to go around in a circle, kind of like a log cabin. We're going to sew this one and then that one and then this one. So I'm going to first do this one. I'm going to go ahead and do this one, and then I'll be right back to show you the next one. All right. It's coming along nicely. So now we're just going to fold this over. We're actually going to re-iron this one this way. You don't have to. If you don't want to, don't do it. I'm going to do it. So now when I lay that there, they will nest nicely. So I'm going to pin and sew that, and I'll be right back. Let's iron that to this side. Flip it around, and then we'll fold that over, and we're going to pin that and pin it and sew that side. And then I will be right back to show you the final block. Sorry, it was delayed. I'll be right back. All right, see, I like this block because it looks like you sewed a lot of little pieces together, which you did, I mean, essentially, but it looks like it took a lot more time than it really did. All right, see, that one didn't match up too well, but whatever. That one too, same spot on both of them, but whatever. Okay, so then we just need to sew the last seam, and I iron them both the same way. So we're just gonna redo one. We're gonna iron this one to the other side. You don't have to. You can do it however you want. Ooh. Whoops. So then, see how I got that lay in? If I wasn't paying attention, I would just fold that over and sew it. But thank the good Lord I paid attention there. All right, so we're going to start in the middle, line up that seam. Then we're going to line up this seam, which hopefully matches up this one. So then we're going to go down here and line up the last seam first. Which hopefully lines that one up. Looks like it might. So now I'm going to sew that down through, and I'll be right back to show you the final product. All right, let's see what we have. I know I skipped ahead to Christmas, but I really like Christmas fabrics too, and I got them all new, so I wanted to use them. There you have it. It's a little crooked, but whatever. So this block is about 8.5 once I trim it down. It'll be an 8.5 inch block. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you make the block and love it, and I'll see you in the next video.